What is up, everybody? JT Dangerously here once again. I am here to do my Week 6 college football predictions. Now, with Week 5 in the books, we are now into Week 6 of the college football season. So I'm very excited to do my Week 6 college football predictions for you guys, and I hope you guys do enjoy. Now, our record in Week 5 was good. We went 31-21, so we're coming in hot, and I'm looking to keep it that way. So hopefully in this video, we will continue the winning ways. We're on a 4-week winning streak. Hopefully in this video, we make it 5 weeks in a row, hopefully. Now, this is the first video of a combined 3 video day on the channel today and this week, guys. So, hope you guys will be able to watch this video and all the fantastic videos we got on deck on this monster month of October this year. And as always, show your support the channel as always, guys, by watching these videos, super kicking those like buttons, hitting that notification bell, commenting your picks, your opinions, and representing your college football teams in the comment sections down below. Now, if this is your first time watching my channel today, guys, as a first-time viewer, and this is your first video, boy, you picked the good one if you're a huge fan of college football like myself, and you're ready for Week 6 of the college football season. Welcome to the Dangerous Alliance. I'm JT Dangerously. Welcome to the club, because this club is 2. Whoop whoop! Again, thank you guys so very much. Now, other than that, let's get right into my Week 6 college football predictions. Let's start off on Thursday night with a Sun Belt rivalry showdown between the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers heading to Arkansas to face the Arkansas State Red Wolves. Now, this is only the 5th meeting between Coastal Carolina and Arkansas State. Arkansas State leads the all-time series 3-1. Now, the Chanticleers won last year's meeting over the Red Wolves, and the Red Wolves are looking to defeat the Chanticleers for the first time in 2 years. Now, both teams are coming off very different Week 5s. Coastal Carolina is coming off their victory over Louisiana Monroe, coming in perfect at 5-0, and Arkansas State's coming off the loss to Georgia Southern on Saturday, coming in at 1-4. So, coming from me in this Sun Belt rivalry showdown on Thursday night, I'm going to go with my good friend Kill Switch's Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. They get it done on the road and remain undefeated and defeat the Arkansas State Red Wolves. And now the next matchup, which also happens on Thursday night. It is an American Athletic Conference rivalry showdown between the Houston Cougars heading to New Orleans to face the Green Wave of Tulane. Now, this is the 26th meeting between Houston and Tulane. Houston leads the all-time series 18-7. Now, the Cougars won last year's meeting over the Green Wave, and the Green Wave are looking to defeat the Cougars for the first time in 2 years. Now, both teams are coming off very different Week 5s in the American Athletic Conference. Houston's coming off their victory over Tulsa on Friday, coming in at 4-1, and Tulane's coming off their loss to East Carolina on Saturday, coming in at 1-4. So, coming from me in this American Athletic Conference rivalry showdown on Thursday night, I am going to go with the Houston Cougars to get it done on the road and defeat the Green Wave of Tulane. And now the next matchups, which happened on Friday. It is another American Athletic Conference rivalry showdown between the Temple Owls heading to Cincinnati to face the Cincinnati Bearcats. Now, this is the 23rd meeting between Temple and Cincinnati. Temple leads the all-time series 13-8-1. Now, the Bearcats won the last meeting over the Owls all the way back 2 years ago, and the Owls are looking to defeat the Bearcats for the first time since 2018. Now, both teams are coming off very good Week 5s. Temple's coming off their victory over Memphis on Saturday, coming in at 3-2, and Cincinnati's coming off their big road victory on Saturday, defeating Notre Dame, coming in perfect at 4-0. So, coming from me in this American Athletic Conference rivalry showdown on Friday night, I am going to go with the Cincinnati Bearcats to get it done at home and remain undefeated and defeat the Temple Owls. And now the next matchup. It is a Conference USA East rivalry showdown between the Charlotte 49ers heading to Miami to face the Florida International Golden Panthers. Now, this is the 6th meeting between Charlotte and Florida International. The Golden Panthers have won the last 5 meetings over the 49ers dating all the way back to 2015. So they have owned this rivalry for 6 years. Now, both teams are coming off very bad Week 5. Charlotte's coming off their loss to Illinois on Saturday, coming in at 3-2. And Florida International is coming off their loss to Florida Atlantic on Saturday, coming in at 1-4. So coming from me in this Conference USA East rivalry showdown on Friday, I am going to go with the Charlotte 49ers to rebound and bounce back on the road and defeat the Florida International Golden Panthers. And now next matchup. It is a Pac-12 rivalry showdown between the Stanford Cardinal heading to Tempe, Arizona to face the Arizona State Sun Devils. Now this is the 33rd meeting between Stanford and Arizona State. Arizona State leads the old-time series 17-15. Now the Cardinal have won the last two meetings over the Sun Devils back in 2017 and 2018, and the Sun Devils are looking to defeat the Cardinal for the first time since 2014. Now both teams are coming off very good Week 5s in the Pac-12 Conference. Stanford is coming off their huge upset victory, defeating Oregon in overtime, coming in at 3-2, and Arizona State's coming off their big victory on the road over UCLA on Saturday night, coming in at 4-1. So coming from me in this Pac-12 rivalry showdown on Friday night, I am going to go with Jaden Daniels and the Arizona State Sun Devils to get it done at home and defeat the Stanford Cardinal. And now the Saturday matchup. Starting off with my Boise State Broncos heading to Provo, Utah to face the BYU Cougars. Now this is the 12th meeting between Boise State and BYU. Boise State leads the all-time series 7-4. Now the Cougars have won the last two meetings over my Broncos back in 2019 and last year, and my Broncos are looking to defeat the Cougars for the first time since 2018. Now both teams are coming off very different Week 5s. Boise State's coming off their loss to Nevada on Saturday at home, coming in at 2-3. And BYU's coming off their victory on Friday night over Utah State, coming in perfect at 5-0. So coming from me in this matchup, even though I feel like we're going to be a heavy underdog in this matchup, I am going to go with my Boise State Broncos to rebound and bounce back on the road and defeat the BYU Cougars in a very close one. And now next matchup. It is an SEC rivalry showdown between the LSU Tigers heading to Lexington, Kentucky to face the Kentucky Wildcats. Now this is the 58th meeting between LSU and Kentucky. LSU leads the all-time series 40-16-1. Now the Tigers have won the last two meetings over the Wildcats back in 2011 and 2014, and the Wildcats are looking to defeat the Tigers for the first time since 2007. Now, both teams are coming off very different Week 5s in the SEC Conference. LSU's coming off their loss on Saturday night to Auburn, coming in at 3-2. And Kentucky's coming off their big victory over Florida on Saturday, coming in perfect at 5-0. So coming from me in this SEC rivalry showdown, ooh, man, this is a tough pick. But coming from me, I am going to go with the Kentucky Wildcats to get it done at home and remain undefeated and defeat the LSU Tigers in a very close one. And now next matchup. It is an ACC Coastal rivalry showdown between the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets heading to Durham, North Carolina to face the Duke Blue Devils. Now this is the 89th meeting between Georgia Tech and Duke. Georgia Tech leads the all-time series 52-35-1. Now the Yellow Jackets won last year's meeting over the Blue Devils, and the Blue Devils are looking to defeat the Yellow Jackets for the first time in 2 years. Now both teams are coming off very bad Week 5s in the ACC Conference. Georgia Tech is coming off their loss to Penn on Saturday, coming in at 2-3, and Duke is coming off their loss to North Carolina on Saturday, coming in at 3-2. So coming from me in this ACC Coastal rivalry showdown, I am going to go with the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets to rebound and bounce back on the road and defeat the Duke Blue Devils. And now next matchup. It is a Big Ten West rivalry showdown between the Wisconsin Badgers heading to Champaign, Illinois to face the Illinois Fighting Illini. Now this is also the 89th meeting between Wisconsin and Illinois. Wisconsin leads the all-time series 43-38-7. Now the Badgers won last year's meeting over the Fighting Illini, and the Fighting Illini are looking to defeat the Badgers for the first time in 2 years. Now both teams are coming off very different Week 5s. Wisconsin's coming off their loss to Michigan, coming in at 1-3, and Illinois is coming off their victory over Charlotte on Saturday, coming in at 2-4. So coming from me in this Big Ten West rivalry showdown, I am going to go with the Wisconsin Badgers to rebound and bounce back on the road and defeat the Illinois Fighting Illini. And now next matchup. It is an SEC East rivalry showdown between the Vanderbilt Commodores heading to Gainesville to face the Florida Gators. Now this is the 55th meeting between Vanderbilt and Florida. Florida leads the all-time series 42-10-2. Now the Gators have won the last 7 meetings over the Commodores dating all the way back to 2014, and the Commodores are looking to defeat the Gators for the first time since 2013. Now both teams are coming off very different Week 5s. Vanderbilt's coming off their last second field goal victory over UConn on Saturday, coming in at 2-3, and Florida's coming off their loss to Kentucky on Saturday, coming in at 3-2. So coming from me in this SEC East rivalry showdown, I am going to go with Dan Mullen's Florida Gators to rebound and bounce back at home and defeat the Vanderbilt Commodores. Chomp, Chomp. And now the next matchup. It is an ACC rivalry showdown between the Florida State Seminoles heading to Chapel Hill, North Carolina to face the North Carolina Tar Heels. Now this is the 21st meeting between Florida State and North Carolina. Florida State leads the old-time series 16-3-1. Now the Seminoles won last year's meeting over the Tar Heels, and the Tar Heels are looking to defeat the Seminoles for the first time since 2016. Now both teams are coming off very good Week 5s in the ACC Conference. Florida State's coming off their first victory of the season, defeating Syracuse on Saturday, coming in at 1-4, and North Carolina's coming off their victory over Duke on Saturday, coming in at 3-2. So coming from me in this ACC rivalry showdown, I am going to go with the Florida State Seminoles to get their second victory of the season and defeat the North Carolina Tar Heels in a very close one. And now the next matchup. It is a Big Ten rivalry showdown between the Michigan Wolverines heading to Lincoln to face the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Now this is the 11th meeting between Michigan and Nebraska. Michigan leads the old-time series 5-4-1. Now the Wolverines won last meeting all the way back in 2018, and the Cornhuskers are looking to defeat the Wolverines for the first time since 2013. Now both teams are coming off very good Week 5s in the Big Ten Conference. Michigan's coming off their victory over Wisconsin on Saturday, coming in perfect at 5-0, and Nebraska's coming off their victory over Northwestern on Saturday, coming in at 3-3. So coming from me in this Big Ten rivalry showdown between Big Blue and Big Red, this one should be good. Scott Frost versus Jim Harbaugh. This one should be really good, but coming from me, I'm going to go with Cade McNamara and the Michigan Wolverines to get it done on the road and remain undefeated and defeat the Nebraska Cornhuskers. And now the next matchup. It is the Notre Dame Fighting Irish heading to Blacksburg to face the Virginia Tech Hokies. Now this is only the 4th meeting between Notre Dame and Virginia Tech. The Irish lead the old-time series 2-1. Now the Irish have won the last 2 meetings over the Hokies back in 2018 and 2019, and the Hokies are looking to defeat the Fighting Irish for the first time since 2016. Now both teams are coming out very different Week 5s. Notre Dame's coming off the loss at Cincinnati on Saturday, coming in at 4-1, and Virginia Tech is coming off a bye, coming in at 3-1. So coming from me in this matchup, ooh, this one's a tough pick. I can see this one going back and forth, and it's going to be very close in my opinion. But coming from me, I'm going to go with Brian Kelly and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish to rebound and bounce back on the road and defeat the Virginia Tech Hokies in a very close shootout. And now the next matchup. It is an SEC East rivalry showdown between the South Carolina Gamecocks heading to Knoxville, Tennessee to face the Tennessee Volunteers. Now this is the 40th meeting between South Carolina and Tennessee. Tennessee leads the old-time series 27-10-2. Now the Volunteers have won the last 2 meetings over the Gamecocks back in 2019 and last year, and the Gamecocks are looking to defeat the Volunteers for the first time since 2018. Now both teams are coming off very good Week 5. South Carolina's coming off their victory over Troy on Saturday, coming in at 3-2, and Tennessee's coming off their big blowout victory on the road, defeating Missouri on Saturday, also coming in at 3-2. So coming from me in this SEC East rivalry showdown between these two 3-2 squads, I got to go with the Tennessee Volunteers to get it done at home and defeat the South Carolina Gamecocks in a close one. And now the next matchup. It is a Big Ten East rivalry showdown between the Michigan State Spartans heading to Rutgers to face the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Now this is the 13th meeting between Michigan State and Rutgers. Sparty leads the old-time series 8-4. Now the Scarlet Knights won the last meeting over Sparty, and Sparty is looking to defeat Rutgers for the first time in 2 years. Now both teams are coming off very different Week 5s. Michigan State's coming off their victory over Western Kentucky, coming in perfect at 5-0, and Rutgers is coming off the loss to Ohio State on Saturday, coming in at 3-2. So coming from me in this Big Ten East rivalry showdown, I am going to go with Sparty to get it done on the road and remain undefeated and defeat the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers. And now the next matchup. It is an American Athletic Conference rivalry showdown, and it's the battle for the Gantz Trophy between the SMU Mustangs heading to Annapolis to face the Midshipmen of Navy. Now this is the 23rd meeting between SMU and Navy. Navy leads the old-time series 13-9. Now, the Mustangs won last year's meeting over the Midshipmen, and the Midshipmen are looking to defeat the Mustangs for the first time in 2 years. Now, both teams are coming off very good Week 5s in the American Athletic Conference. SMU's coming off their victory over South Florida on Saturday, coming in perfect at 5-0, and Navy's coming off their first victory of the season, defeating UCF on Saturday, coming in at 1-3. So, coming from me in this American Athletic Conference rivalry showdown and the battle for the Gantz Trophy, I am going to go with Tanner Mordecai and the undefeated SMU Mustangs to get it done on the road and remain undefeated and defeat the Midshipmen of Navy. And now next matchup, it is a Pac-12 South rivalry showdown between the Utah Utes heading to the Coliseum to face the USC Trojans. Now this is the 20th meeting between Utah and USC. USC leads the old-time series 13-6. Now the Trojans have won the last 2 meetings over the Utes back in 2019 and last year, and the Utes are looking to defeat the Trojans for the first time since 2018. Now both teams are coming off very different Week 5s. Utah's coming off a bye, coming in at 2-2, and USC is coming off their victory over Colorado on Saturday, coming in at 3-2. So coming from me in this Pac-12 South rivalry showdown, I'm going to go with Slovis and the USC Trojans to get it done at home and defeat the Utah Utes in a close one. And now the next matchup. It is a Mountain West Conference rivalry showdown between the New Mexico Lobos heading to San Diego to face the San Diego State Aztecs. Now this is the 43rd meeting between New Mexico and San Diego State. San Diego State leads the old-time series 27-15. Now, the Aztecs have won the last 7 meetings over the Lobos, dating all the way back to 2009, and the Lobos are looking to defeat the Aztecs for the first time since 2008. Now, both teams are coming off very different Week 5s. New Mexico's coming off their loss to the Air Force Academy on Saturday, coming in at 2-3, and San Diego State's coming off their victory over Townsend on Saturday, coming in perfect at 4-0. So, coming from me in this Mountain West Conference rivalry showdown, I am going to go with the San Diego State Aztecs to get it done at home and remain undefeated and defeat the New Mexico Lobos. And now next matchup. It is a Conference USA West rivalry showdown between the UTEP Miners heading to Southern Miss to face the Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles. Now this is the 13th meeting between UTEP and Southern Miss. Southern Miss leads the old-time series 8-4. Now the Golden Eagles have won the last 5 meetings over the Miners, dating all the way back to 2015, and the Miners are looking to defeat the Golden Eagles for the first time since 2014. Now, both teams are coming off very different Week 5s. UTEP's coming off their victory over Old Dominion, coming in at 4-1, and Southern Miss is coming off the loss to Rice on Saturday, coming in at 1-4. So, coming from me in this Conference USA West rivalry showdown, I am going to go with the UTEP Miners to get it done on the road and defeat the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. And now the next matchup. It is a Mountain West Conference rivalry showdown between the San Jose State Spartans heading to Fort Collins, Colorado to face the Colorado State Rams. Now this is the 11th meeting between San Jose State and Colorado State. Colorado State leads the old-time series 6-4. Now the Rams have won the last 3 meetings over the Spartans, dating all the way back to 2014, and the Spartans are looking to defeat the Rams for the first time since 2013. Now both teams are coming off very different Week 5. San Jose State's coming off their victory over New Mexico State on Saturday night, coming in at 3-2, and Colorado State is coming off a bye, coming in at 1-3. So coming from me in this Mountain West Conference rivalry showdown, I am going to go with Nick Nash and the San Jose State Spartans to get it done on the road and defeat the Colorado State Rams. And now next matchup. It is a Pac-12 South rivalry showdown between the UCLA Bruins heading to Tucson to face the Arizona Wildcats. Now this is the 46th meeting between UCLA and Arizona. UCLA leads the old-time series 26-17-2. Now the Bruins won last year's meeting over the Wildcats, and the Wildcats are looking to defeat the Bruins for the first time in 2 years. Now both teams are coming off very different Week 5s. UCLA is coming off the loss on Saturday night to Arizona State, coming in at 3-2, and Arizona is coming off a bye, coming in winless at 0-4. So coming from me in this Pac-12 South rivalry showdown, I am going to go with Chip Kelly's UCLA Bruins to rebound and bounce back on the road and defeat the Arizona Wildcats. And now the next matchup, a huge matchup in week number 6, especially in the Big Ten Conference, because this is a Big Ten rivalry showdown between the Penn State Nittany Lions heading to Iowa City to face the Iowa Hawkeyes. Now this is the 31st meeting between Penn State in Iowa. Penn State leads the all-time series 17-13. Now, the Hawkeyes won last year's meeting over the Nittany Lions, and the Nittany Lions are looking to defeat the Hawkeyes for the first time in 2 years. Now, both teams are coming off very good Week 5s in the Big Ten Conference. Penn State's coming off their victory over Indiana, coming in perfect at 5-0, and Iowa's coming off their big beatdown victory over Maryland on Friday, coming in also undefeated at 5-0. So coming from me in this massive Big Ten rivalry showdown between these two undefeated squads, ooh, this one's going to be such a good game in Iowa City. I have a good feeling this one's going to be a shootout. But coming from me, I am going to go with the Iowa Hawkeyes to get it done at home and remain undefeated and defeat the Penn State Nittany Lions in a banger. And now next matchup. It is an ACC rivalry showdown between the Virginia Cavaliers heading to Louisville, Kentucky to face the Louisville Cardinals. Now this is the 10th meeting between Virginia and Louisville. Louisville leads the all-time series 5-4. Now the Cavaliers won last year's meeting over the Cardinals, and the Cardinals are looking to defeat the Cavaliers for the first time in 2 years. Now both teams are coming off very different Week 5s in the ACC Conference. Virginia is coming off their victory on Thursday, defeating Miami, coming in at 3-2, and Louisville's coming off their loss to Wake Forest on Saturday, coming in also at 3-2. So coming from me in this ACC rivalry showdown between these two 3-2 squads, I am going to go with the Virginia Cavaliers to continue the winning ways and get a victory on the road and defeat the Louisville Cardinals in a close one. And now the next matchup. It is an ACC Atlantic rivalry showdown between the Wake Forest Demon Deacons heading to the Carrier Dome to face the Orangemen of Syracuse. Now this is the 11th meeting between Wake Forest and Syracuse. Syracuse leads the all-time series 6-4. Now, the Demon Deacons won last year's meeting over the Orangemen, and the Orangemen are looking to defeat the Demon Deacons for the first time in 2 years. Now, both teams are coming off very different Week 5s in the ACC Conference. Wake Forest is coming off their victory over Louisville, coming in perfect at 5-0, and Syracuse is coming off the loss to Florida State on Saturday, coming in at 3-2. So, coming from me in this ACC Atlantic rivalry showdown, I am going to go with the surprising team in the ACC this year, the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, to get it done on the road and remain undefeated and defeat the Orangemen of Syracuse in a close one. And now next matchup. It is a Big 12 rivalry showdown between the West Virginia Mountaineers heading to Waco, Texas to face the Baylor Bears. Now this is the 10th meeting between West Virginia and Baylor. West Virginia leads the all-time series 6-3. Now the Mountaineers are coming off their victory last year over the Bears, and the Bears are looking to defeat the Mountaineers for the first time in 2 years. Now, both teams are coming off very bad Week 5s in the Big 12 Conference. West Virginia is coming off the loss to Texas Tech, coming in at 2-3, and Baylor is coming off their loss to Oklahoma State on Saturday, coming in at 4-1. So, coming from me in this Big 12 rivalry showdown, I am going to go with the Baylor Bears to rebound and bounce back at home and defeat the West Virginia Mountaineers in a shootout. And now the next matchup. It is another Big 12 rivalry showdown, and it's the battle for the Saddle Trophy between the TCU Horned Frogs heading to Lubbock, Texas to face the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Now this is the 64th meeting between TCU and Texas Tech. Texas Tech leads the all-time series 32, 28, and 3. Now, the Horned Frogs have won the last 2 meetings over the Red Raiders back in 2019 and last year, and the Red Raiders are looking to defeat the Horned Frogs for the first time since 2018. Now, both teams are coming out very different Week 5s in the Big 12 Conference. TCU is coming off the loss to Texas, coming in at 2-2, and Texas Tech is coming off their victory over West Virginia, coming in at 4-1. So, coming from me in this Big 12 rivalry showdown, and to see who will win the Saddle Trophy this year, I am going to go with the Red Raiders of Texas Tech to get it done at home and defeat the TCU Horned Frogs in another shootout. And now the next matchup. It is an American Athletic Conference rivalry showdown between the East Carolina Pirates heading to Orlando to face the UCF Knights. Now this is the 20th meeting between East Carolina and UCF. East Carolina leads the all-time series 10-9. Now, the Knights have won the last 9 meetings over the Pirates, dating all the way back to 2016, and the Pirates are looking to defeat the Knights for the first time since 2015. Now, both teams are coming off very different Week 5s in the American Athletic Conference. East Carolina is coming off their victory over Tulane on Saturday, coming in at 3-2, and UCF is coming off the loss to Navy on Saturday, coming in at 2-2. So, coming from me in this American Athletic Conference rivalry showdown, I'm going to go with my good friend Scott Weeks in Sports UCF Knights to rebound and bounce back at home and defeat the East Carolina Pirates in a very close one. And now the next matchup. It is a Mountain West Conference Mountain rivalry showdown between the Wyoming Cowboys heading to the Air Force Academy to face the Air Force Falcons. Now this is the 59th meeting between Wyoming and the Air Force Academy. Air Force leads the series 29-26-3. Now, the Falcons won the last meeting over the Cowboys all the way back 2 years ago, and the Cowboys are looking to defeat the Falcons for the first time since 2018. Now, both teams are coming out very different week 5s. Wyoming's coming off a bye, coming in perfect at 4-0, and the Air Force Academy is coming off their victory over New Mexico on Saturday, coming in at 4-1. So, coming from me in this Mountain West Conference Mountain rivalry showdown, I am going to go with the Air Force Academy Falcons to get it done at home and defeat the Wyoming Cowboys in a very, very close one. And now the next matchup. It is a Big Ten East rivalry showdown between the Maryland Terrapins heading to Columbus to face the Ohio State Buckeyes. Now this is the 7th meeting between Maryland and Ohio State. The Buckeyes have won the last 6 meetings over the Terrapins, dating all the way back to 2014. So the Buckeyes have owned this rivalry for nearly 7 years. Now both teams are coming off very different week 5s in the Big Ten Conference. Maryland's coming off their embarrassing loss on Friday to Iowa, coming in at 4-1. And Ohio State's coming off their victory over Rutgers on Saturday, also coming in at 4-1. So coming from me in this Big Ten East rivalry showdown between these two 4-1 squads, this quarterback showdown I'm excited for. Tua Tagovailoa versus C.J. Stroud. This one should be good. And hopefully Maryland doesn't make as many mistakes as they did on Friday. They had like 5 turnovers in that game altogether. So this is definitely going to be their stiffest and toughest test. But coming from me, I'm going to go with Ryan Day and C.J. Stroud and the Ohio State Buckeyes to get it done at home and defeat the Maryland Terrapins. OHIO. And now next matchup. It is an SEC West rivalry showdown between the Arkansas Razorbacks heading to Oxford, Mississippi to face the Ole Miss Rebels. Now this is the 68th meeting between Arkansas and Ole Miss. The Hogs lead the old-time series 36-28-1. Now the Hogs won last year's meeting over the Rebels, and the Rebels are looking to defeat the Hogs for the first time in 2 years. Now both teams are coming off very bad week 5s in the SEC. Arkansas is coming off their shutout loss to the Georgia Bulldogs, coming in at 4-1, and Ole Miss had to go through and get destroyed by Alabama on Saturday, coming in at 3-1. So coming from me in this SEC West rivalry showdown, ooh, this is a tough pick, but coming from me, I'm going to go with KJ Jefferson and the Arkansas Razorbacks to rebound and bounce back on the road and defeat the Ole Miss Rebels. Soo-wee! And now next matchup. It is a Sun Belt West rivalry showdown between the South Alabama Jaguars heading to San Marcos, Texas to face the Texas State Bobcats. Now this is the 7th meeting between South Alabama and Texas State. The series is tied 3-3. Now the Jaguars won last year's meeting over the Bobcats, and the Bobcats are looking to defeat the Jaguars for the first time in 2 years. Now both teams are coming out very different week 5. South Alabama's coming off their loss to Louisiana on Saturday, coming in at 3-1, and Texas State's coming off a bye, coming in at 1-3. So coming from me in the Sun Belt West rivalry showdown, I am going to go with the South Alabama Jaguars to rebound and bounce back on the road and defeat the Texas State Bobcats. And now next matchup. It is the Mean Green of North Texas heading to Missouri to face the Missouri Tigers. Now this is only the 2nd meeting between North Texas and Missouri. The Tigers won the last meeting over the Mean Green all the way back in 1995. So these two have not met each other in nearly 26 years. Now both teams are coming off very different week 5s. North Texas is coming off a bye, coming in at 1-3. And Missouri's coming off their loss to the Volunteers of Tennessee on Saturday, coming in at 2-3. So coming from me in this matchup, I am going to go with the Missouri Tigers to rebound and bounce back at home and defeat the Mean Green of North Texas. And now the next matchup. It is an American Athletic Conference rivalry showdown between the Memphis Tigers heading to Tulsa, Oklahoma to face the Golden Hurricanes of Tulsa. Now this is the 31st meeting between Memphis and Tulsa. Memphis leads the all-time series 19-11. Now the Tigers have won the last 3 meetings over the Golden Hurricanes, dating all the way back to 2017, and the Golden Hurricanes are looking to defeat the Tigers for the first time since 2016. Now both teams are coming out very bad week 5s in the American Athletic Conference. Memphis is coming off their loss to Temple on Saturday, coming in at 3-2, and Tulsa's coming off their loss to Houston on Friday, coming in at 1-4. So coming from me in this American Athletic Conference rivalry showdown, I am going to go with the Memphis Tigers to rebound and bounce back on the road and defeat the Golden Hurricanes of Tulsa. And now the next matchup. It is a Pac-12 North rivalry showdown between the Oregon State Beavers heading to Pullman, Washington to face the Washington State Cougars. Now this is the 103rd meeting between Oregon State and Washington State. Washington State leads the all-time series 55, 47, and 3. Now, the Cougars have won the last 7 meetings over the Beavers, dating all the way back to 2014, and the Beavers are looking to defeat the Cougars for the first time since 2013. Now, both teams are coming off very good Week 5s in the Pac-12 Conference. Oregon State's coming off their victory over Washington State Cougar rival Washington on Saturday, coming in at 4-1, and Washington State's coming off their victory over Cal on Saturday, coming in at 2-3. So, coming from me in this Pac-12 North rivalry showdown, I am going to go with the Oregon State Beavers to get it done on the road and defeat the Washington State Cougars in a shootout. And now the next matchup. It is a Conference USA rivalry showdown between the Florida Atlantic Owls heading to Birmingham, Alabama to face the UAB Blazers. Now this is only the 8th meeting between Florida Atlantic and UAB. Florida Atlantic leads the all-time series 5-2. Now, the Owls won the last meeting over the Blazers all the way back 2 years ago, and the Blazers are looking to defeat the Owls for the first time in 7 years. Now, both teams are coming off very different Week 5s. Florida Atlantic's coming off their victory over Florida International on Saturday, coming in at 3-2, and UAB is coming off their loss to Liberty on Saturday, coming in also at 3-2. So, coming from me in this Conference USA rivalry showdown between these two 3-2 squads, I am going to go with the Florida Atlantic Owls to get it done on the road and defeat the UAB Blazers in a very close one. And now the next matchup. It is the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders heading to Lynchburg, Virginia to face the Liberty Flames. Now this is only the 2nd meeting between Middle Tennessee and Liberty. The Blue Raiders won the last meeting over the Flames all the way back in 1982. So these two teams have not met each other in nearly 39 years. Now, both teams are coming out very good Week 5s in Conference USA. Not in Conference USA, in week number 5. Middle Tennessee is coming out their victory over Marshall on Saturday, coming in at 2-3. And Liberty's coming out their victory over UAB on Saturday, coming in at 4-1. So coming from me in this matchup, I am going to go with the Liberty Flames to get it done at home and defeat the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders in a close one. And now the next matchup. It is the New Mexico State Aggies heading to Reno, Nevada to face the Nevada Wolfpack. Now this is the 16th meeting between New Mexico State and Nevada. Nevada leads the all-time series 13-2. Now, the Wolfpack have won the last 3 meetings over the Aggies, dating all the way back to 2009, and the Aggies are looking to defeat the Wolfpack for the first time since 2008. Now, both teams are coming out very different. Week number 5, New Mexico State's coming off the loss to San Jose State on Saturday night, coming in at 1-5, and Nevada's coming off their victory on the road, defeating my Boise State Broncos, coming in at 3-1. So, coming from me in this matchup, I will give Nevada credit. They got it done on Saturday against my Boise State Broncos, so I'll give them a hell of a lot of credit. So coming from me, I am going to go with the Nevada Wolfpack to get it done at home and defeat the New Mexico State Aggies. And now the next matchup. It is an SEC West rivalry showdown between the reigning national champions, the Alabama Crimson Tide, heading to College Station to face the Texas A&M Aggies. Now this is the 14th meeting between Alabama and Texas A&M. Alabama leads the all-time series 11-2. Now the Crimson Tide have won the last 8 meetings over the Aggies, dating all the way back to 2013, and the Aggies are looking to defeat the Crimson Tide for the first time since 2012. Now, both teams are coming off very different Week 5s in the SEC. Alabama's coming off their victory over Ole Miss, coming in perfect at 5-0, and the Aggies are coming off their loss to the Mississippi State Bulldogs on Saturday, coming in at 3-2. So, coming from me in this SEC West rivalry showdown, I am going to go with Bryce Young, Nick Saban, and the Alabama Crimson Tide to continue the winning ways and remain undefeated and defeat the Texas A&M Aggies. Roll Tide! And now on to the final 2 picks in week number 6, starting off with a massive SEC rivalry showdown, and it is known as the Deep South's oldest rivalry between the Georgia Bulldogs heading to Jordan-Hare Stadium to face the Auburn Tigers. Now this is the 126th meeting between Georgia and Auburn. Georgia leads the all-time series 61, 56, and 8. Now, the Bulldogs have won the last 4 meetings over the Eagles, and the Tigers are looking to defeat the Eagles Georgia has won the last 4 meetings over the Tigers, and the Tigers are looking to defeat the Bulldogs for the first time since 2017. Now, both teams are coming off very good Week 5s in the SEC. Georgia's coming off their big, dominant victory over Arkansas on Saturday, which College Game Day was at last week, and Lee Corso did pick Georgia to win. They got it done. They're undefeated at 5-0. And Auburn's coming off their big road victory over LSU, their first victory at Death Valley since 1999, and coming in 4-1. So coming from me in the Deep South's oldest rivalry and a huge showdown in the SEC in week number 6. Ooh, this one's going to be good. JT Daniels versus Bo Nix, because Bo knows. But coming from me, I am going to go with JT Daniels and the Georgia Bulldogs to continue the winning ways and get a victory on the road and remain undefeated and defeat the Auburn Tigers in a banger. And now the final matchup in week number 6, and it's the rivalry I have been waiting for. It's one of my favorite rivalries being part of the Big 12 Conference, and it's between two teams that hate each other's guts, and is known as the Red River Showdown between my Oklahoma Sooners facing the Texas Longhorns. Now, this game will be played at the Cotton Bowl, and College Game Day will be at this game this Saturday. Now, this is the 117th meeting between Oklahoma and Texas. Texas leads the all-time series 62, 49, and 5. Now, my Sooners have won the last 3 meetings over the Longhorns, and the Longhorns are looking to defeat my Sooners for the first time since 2018. Now, both teams are coming off very good Week 5s in the Big 12 Conference. My Sooners are coming off their big victory over Kansas State on Saturday, coming in perfect at 5-0. And Texas is coming off their victory over TCU on Saturday, coming in at 4-1. So, coming from me in this year's Red River Rivalry Showdown between my Oklahoma Sooners and the Texas Longhorns, this one's going to be good because either Lee Corso is going to be picking the Longhorns headgear, or he's going to be getting that gun and hitting and just, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun weekend in Dallas at College Game Day this Saturday. So coming from me, you already know I'm going to go with Spencer Rattler, Lincoln Riley, and my Oklahoma Sooners to make it 4 years in a row and defeat the Texas Longhorns in a Big 12 slobber knocker. And those are my Week 6 college football predictions. Now I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video today. Comment below, who do you see winning in week number 6 of the college football season? Who do you see winning the Red River Showdown between my Sooners and the Texas Longhorns? And do you see any upsets happening week number 6? Week number 5 gave us that Stanford Cardinal upset over Oregon. So let me know, who do you think is going to be on upset alert in week number 6? Let me know all of your picks and your opinions. And as always, represent your college football teams in the comments section. Even if they're having a rough year, still represent them. Let's have a conversation about them. Of course, I'm always on to see your comment, like it, and of course reply right back to you, because comments and your opinions are absolutely always welcome on this channel. Now, I do want to thank you guys so very much for watching my Week 6 college football predictions today. Now, before you guys go, as always, you guys can never forget to do this. That like button, comment, share with your friends. Of course, super kick that like button like only you guys can. Of course, you guys can never forget to do this as well. That subscribe button to become part of this bigger and dangerous alliance. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, guys, what are you guys waiting for? If you're a fan of professional wrestling when it comes to New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor Wrestling, and All Elite Wrestling, and you're a fan of professional sports when it comes to the NBA, the NHL, the NFL, Major League Baseball, college basketball, college football, super kick that subscribe button, folks. It's free. Become part of this bigger, dangerous alliance. And I will see you guys later tonight for my Week 5 NFL predictions. Later days, guys, and peace.